Good morning, my friends. I'm so excited that it's 6:24 a.m. and I am up recording a podcast episode. This is not how I thought my morning was going to start, but what a perfect time to talk to you guys a little bit about spiritual downloads because boy, we have so much going on right now and so many messages coming in. And here's what I want you to think about. Okay, we're going to dive into something that comes up with all of my clients at some point, especially the ones who feel stuck in their business and are craving more clarity, even creativity, and always more clients. Now, on this podcast, we come at things a little bit differently, right? It's more intuitive, it's more spiritually aligned with our individual needs. And the reason why I love doing it in this way is because I feel like that's what a lot of us are missing. If you're seeking clarity on something, this is a great way to open yourself up to a more divine understanding of what direction you want to take and also how do you apply these kinds of downloads into your actual business, into a business that's probably strategized more than the way we talk about it here. So just keep that in mind. And as I share a story with you and then also talk about how I've seen this work for my clients, I want you to keep in mind what you have going on right now in your business and in your life, because there's going to be some connections here. And it's a great time to hone in on this amazing gift that we all have. Before we get into all that, I want to welcome you to Creative Entrepreneurs Unblocked. My name is Aubrey Barr. I'm a photographer. I'm a subconscious release technique coach, a Reiki master, a massage therapist, all of the things. You guys, I am multi-passionate and I absolutely love all of the lessons I get to learn in my life. And I especially love being able to share all of it with you guys in this group. So if you're not already following along, just hit subscribe or follow and let's jump right into this topic. So by now, a lot of you probably have some questions like, hey, Aubrey, what are spiritual downloads? And this is a really good question. And it's something that you are going to be able to figure out yourself. But I'll go over a brief kind of outline of what I see spiritual downloads are. So first off, a spiritual download is insight or information that you receive intuitively. Okay, it's not going to be like from logic or brainstorming, but it's more from your higher self, God, or spirit. Okay, oftentimes it feels instant, like a light bulb moment, but not all the time, because sometimes it kind of like beautifully unravels like as you think about it, and the information is just coming in freely. So you're not really forcing it. It's more like the idea comes in and it just kind of unfolds inside of you and new understanding comes with it. You may receive these through prayer, through meditation, through journaling, sometimes driving, sometimes just doing something habitual like dishes. They do often come when your brain is quiet, not when you're in the middle of a busy day. You know what I mean? Like that hustle vibe. And I think that's because, one, you're open to it. And secondly, something about turning off your brain and just allowing information to come in is super intuitive on its own. And that is usually when we get these kind of messages, is just not forcing and just not having expectations, but being open to it. It's like your soul finally gets a clear signal because you're not clogging the line with overthinking, which some of us are overthinkers like yours truly, but being able to do my meditations and allowing my mind to quiet is really a great time for these. Okay, so how do you recognize them, right? How do you recognize them for what they are, which is a divine download and not your logical mind trying to take over? Well, you may feel a sudden clarity or certainty. Like it might not make sense, but it resonates, right? Because sometimes it doesn't make much sense. And it often feels calm and powerful at the same time. It's not anxious whatsoever. I did a reel about this recently, and I think it was actually a TikTok, but talking about the difference between intuition and anxiety, right? Because some people will get the two confused because they both can hit you like a freight train, honestly. So if you're interested in that, check out the TikTok. But basically, anxiety or fear is going to take over your nervous system. It's going to feel like a hurry up and do it. It's going to feel like, if I don't do this, I'm going to miss out. It's going to be very much rush, 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 and don't think about it. Whereas intuition may come in strong, but at the same time, it feels calm. It feels powerful. It feels like it is more calming than anxiety would feel. Okay. Moving on. These spiritual downloads also could come with this nudge to kind of act, right? We get the message and it's like, okay, now you get to take action. Okay. So post whatever you're going to post. I personally, this morning, doing this episode was my spiritual download. And it was like, I mean, it just came in and was like, hey, this is what you're doing. I know your voice isn't ready to talk because it's like 6:30 a.m., but you're going to do this episode. So here I am. A download like this, though, will cut through the noise. Okay. It's not another, oh, maybe, or this may work. No, it's like, this is it. And when you act on it, something is going to change for you. And that's also another funny thing is like, you don't know how life is going to change for you. You don't know if the information itself is so eye-opening to your conscious and subconscious that it actually opens something up for you, or if it's meant to be shared. And usually you will get that understanding as you learn more what this feels like for you. So for this episode in general, I really wanted you to understand how these spiritual downloads can affect your business life, but know that these can come in any shape or form in your personal life as well. And if you've been around long enough, you know that these two worlds between business and personal definitely intersect and create this beautiful flow if you allow it. So just keep in mind that this may be for you on a more personal level today, but also in your business, this is going to be a huge thing. If you can learn to open up to the opportunity to receive some of these, you're going to find that things will flow more seamlessly. Some things that I want you to remember here, okay, is that getting spiritual downloads is incredible in itself, and it's a deep understanding that is hard to explain. But what happens so many times is that people get these downloads and they don't use them. Please, please, please learn to trust this, okay? So when you get a download, you're going to act on it, okay? I feel like downloads will lose power if they sit on a shelf. There's a reason why you're getting that now. You need to act on it right away. Okay. If that means writing it down immediately or a voice note, if you're like driving, do it. Don't overthink the how. Let's be honest here. Okay. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I've gotten spiritual downloads that came in so powerful. I could not deny them. I've acted on them. And in the end, it was only for me. It was only to change something about my mindset or something that seems so simple, right? But the reality is that sometimes I get them and I change the lives of a ton of people. And so acting on it and just trusting the guidance you've been given is the goal. We don't know how these things are going to affect your world or your family's world or your business. Okay. But that's not the point. The point is that you need it. So don't worry and stress over what is this going to look like in a year. Just don't do that to yourself, okay? I would use these downloads to shift your messaging in your business, shift your offers, okay? Whatever content you're doing, you can use them to adjust your pricing or even your brand voice, okay? There's a reason why you're picking up on this and you want to use it. So build rituals to receive more, okay? I personally, you guys know this, I love to do a morning walk on my treadmill. That's what I was doing before I got this message to talk specifically about spiritual downloads and not about the meditation side. But that's a way for me to channel in these downloads. It's a way for me to allow myself to open up because it really calms my thinking. My brain, if you guys saw my astrology chart, first off, you'd be like, holy cow, if you knew about astrology and that's your thing. I am all air. I have a ton of air trines. So that's all about thinking. My brain is never stopping. It never, ever stops. And I'm not going to say that's a bad thing or a good thing, but let's just say that I've learned to work with that. And one of the ways I do that is by calming myself, bringing in that physical and the emotional and the spiritual all at once to allow for more of an open, receptive kind of thought process. Okay. So just looking at my life now and going through all the experiences I've had that fit this category of a spiritual download, I can tell you that 99% of what I do have came from me through a divine download like that. I mean, it's quite crazy. I started the podcast because of a spiritual download, and I still feel all the time that this podcast is for you guys, but it's also a way for me to share with other people how I run a business that feels so aligned to my soul, because I feel like that's what's missing in our business world, is that disconnect from super logical, super strategized, and the spiritual side. And not to get astrology up on you guys, but we just had a new moon in Taurus like yesterday. And so new moons are new ideas. Taurus is very grounded. And so you might already be getting spiritual downloads right now. It might be the perfect time for you guys to add in some of these opportunities for more. I know for sure creativity is heightened right now, imagination. So to me, that's a great time to settle in and say, how can I shift things around my business? How can I look at this differently? It's never a bad idea to take another look at how you run things. Say, where are these holes coming from? And honestly, you guys, a spiritual download can do that for you. I have had downloads that show me where my business has gone wrong. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of it's around marketing, around sharing my stuff, because I always feel like I'm oversharing, but yet I'm never sharing enough. And having a constant flow of clients coming in is because I oftentimes will be like, okay, I don't feel like sharing today, you know? So, and I know I'm not the only one that deals with that, because I get to walk through that with my clients all the time. And I get to share that I understand that completely. So if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. Okay. Trust that download you get. You don't need another course. You don't need to splurge on all the things. You don't need to, totally reshape your business and your life and your routine. All you need is to be open to receive these downloads, and then to trust when they come in. And that's a deep belief in what you already know deep down, because a lot of times they're just there to make sense of what you're already feeling. Okay. So I hope this was helpful to you. I decided to make it a short episode and not get too much into different scenarios and experiences I have had, because literally my podcast is about this. Okay. We're just using different terminology, but this is such an important tool. I can't even begin to tell you how much more important this tool is than everything else you're doing. Okay. So if you're somebody who gets them already, please share with me. Let me know what you've experienced. I love hearing stories. My email is in the show notes, or reach out, whatever, if we're friends or something on Facebook or TikTok. But if this episode sparked something for you, I am so, so happy. And I'd love it if you would share it with a friend, or if you left a review. And if you're ready to start receiving and acting on those downloads, check the link in the show notes. I have a couple spots for my one-on-one coaching where we would literally get rid of those programs that are causing you to have blocks around this topic, receiving downloads, blocks around getting clarity, blocks around being able to trust what you feel and what you see and what you want. Okay. Those are all things that come from learned experiences in our lives. That is from your mind wanting to protect you and keep you safe from having to experience more of life. But guess what? That's what we're here for. We're here to experience it. And we want to come in with a calm nervous system and be able to be open to receiving more messages and not fight them anymore, right? Because fighting them is only delaying your own happiness. Okay, so your intuition is not optional, my friends. It's your greatest business partner. And I want you to know that. It's not even me. It's your intuition that's going to help you with all of the roadblocks that you've experienced. All right. I hope you guys have an incredible Tuesday, and we will talk soon.